Sussex lost for the third time in 4 T20 contests this season as Hampshire's Neil Mackenzie struck 14 runs off 3 balls, including 4 overthrows in the final over to take the visitors to their target by 5 wickets with just 3 balls to spare. Chris Nash batted after winning the toss on a gorgeous evening on the south coast, and after the first ball of the match went for 5 wides, he tucked into Dimitri Mascarenhas in an opening over which went for 14 runs to give the Sharks an ideal start. And things got even better than that in the 4th over as Sohail Tanvir was smashed to all parts by Luke Wright, who took these 2 sixes off 3 balls and also hit a 4, which helped the home side to race to a total of 45 without loss after only 4 overs. But 3 deliveries into the 5th over, Wright was bowled off the inside edge by Chris Wood to go for 17. Danny Briggs was then introduced into the attack in the 6th over, and his second delivery was swept over the square leg boundary by Nash, who was then out next ball, stopping his shot to give the left arm spinner a comfortable return catch. Nash was gone for 23 at 54 for 2. Dwayne Smith should have gone in the same way off Mascarenhas, who couldn't believe that he put down such a simple opportunity. And for a moment or two, it looked as if that may be costly. The West Indian then drilled the same bowler over mid-on for yet another maximum. There were some mighty shots from the Sussex batsmen, but Hampshire kept knocking them back with wickets. Rory Hamilton-Brown was the next to go, giving himself room but not evading Wood to give Briggs his second wicket. It seemed as if it might be one of those nights. A one-handed miss-hit from Matt Machin still carried over the ropes as he started strongly, only to lose Smith at the other end on 12 when he was bowled on the drag by Liam Dawson at 78 for 4. And with him gone, the boundaries suddenly dried up. 5 full overs went by without one off either Dawson nor Briggs, and then Machin was bowled as he tried to hit the leather off the ball. Dawson and Briggs' combined figures were 8 overs, 4 for 35, but with them out of the attack, Scott Styris was at last able to hit some 4s. 2 of them came off a single Tanvir over, which picked up the rate, as Sussex needed to, towards the end of their innings. Ben Brown was then out to the final ball of the penultimate over, desperately trying to get back for a second run to give Styris the strike at the start of the final over. It took a powerful and accurate throw from Mackenzie to defeat Brown. Styris did manage to pull the expensive Tanvir for a 6 in the last over to end on 39 from 32 balls, and that helped his side to a respectable 145 for 6 from their 20 overs. Nash asked Michael Yardy to open the bowling, and he struck with his 3rd ball, clinging on to a sharp chance off his bowling to remove James Vince for a golden duck. And when Jimmy Adams nicked Chris Jordan to a diving Brown, the Sharks were looking good with their visitors on 10 for 2 after 2 overs. But Sussex could have really done with getting shot of Michael Carberry earlier than they eventually did. The opener bludgeoned Styris for a 6 at the end of the 3rd over, and then took 2 more off successive balls off Chris Liddle in an over which cost 19 runs. Mackenzie looked good too from the off. He took on Smith to keep his side above the required run rate, which was mostly down to Carberry, who raced along to his scintillating half-century off only 30 balls, this being one of his 4 4s which were added to his 3 6s. Carberry looked as if he was going to see his side over the winning line with ease, but he then sliced a drive off Nash to Liddle and had to go at 82 for 3 in the 10th over. The game then began to turn. Sean Irvin was held in the deep by Hamilton-Brown off Will Beer for 7. And then in the next over, Dawson went on the sweep only to be trapped in front by Nash for a duck, a wicket which left the Royals on 99 for 5 in over number 14. So Mackenzie's innings now became the all-important one. He found the occasional boundary to keep his side in it, passing his 50 off 42 balls on the way. And so it all came down to the final over. Beer, Nash and Yardy's excellence had left Hampshire with a dozen runs to get off the last 6 balls to be bowled by Jordan. The first one was hoiked over square leg for a 4 to make it 8 off 5. And then disaster struck. Mackenzie squeezed the ball to fine leg, and the throw from the deep bounced extremely unkindly for Brown, the ball evading his gloves and somehow finding its way for 4 additional overthrows to leave Hampshire requiring only 2 of the final 4 balls. Mackenzie then drove a full toss through the covers, much to Brown's dismay. 14 runs had come off 3 deliveries, and Hampshire had won by 5 wickets with 3 still left in the tank. Mackenzie ended unbeaten on 71 and Adam Wheater on 12, as the holders were now up to second in the South Division behind leaders Surrey, who've won 4 in a row. Sussex need to put this quickly behind them, but first it's a return to Championship action with a trip to Taunton starting on Monday.